coaching, keeping some of the young players focused, the quarterback helping Randall. You know, he's not really a threat to Randall. Randall has to respect McMahon's opinion and ability, and the fact that McMahon has a championship. So he's a guy that's a great resource. Besides the fact that something does happen to Randall, he can go in and win for you. That's the best thing.
Well, Rich Kotite in shock with the quarterback injury situation a year ago, taking no chances this season. Behind McMahon, he has David Archer, who is the third quarterback for today, and a rookie by the name of Casey Weldon. So he has 4 quarterbacks on the roster. It's a 3rd down and 4 at the 47. Just under 8 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Here's Walker with some room. He collects the first down. Stopped by Charles Demery. Right here, we're set for an update. Let's go to Bob.
Marv, the Packers' #1 pick from Florida State, Terrell Buckley, who has anointed himself as the Jim Thorpe of the second half of the century, goes 58 yards with his punt return for a TD. Watch him as he hits the end zone. Here's a brief religious respite. Then he stands up and worships himself and asks the crowd to do the same. Bengals 17, Packers 10.
The Jim Thorpe of the second half of the century.
Well, those reputation makers sometimes don't last too long. Sometimes take the first time.
Myers with a short advance. The nose tackle, Greg Cragen, made the stop. Well, the Jets now down 31-7 in the fourth quarter. Kansas City and Houston tied at 13 in the fourth. So Houston coming from behind. Cincinnati trying to make it 3-0 for David Shula. Just saw that play. Minnesota in front of Tampa Bay in the fourth. And New Orleans and Atlanta tied at 7. Seattle in front of New England. Walker. He is stopped for a short gain. Ron Holmes in on the tackle. 6:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. Philadelphia Eagles on their way to going 3-0. They have not opened up at 3-0 since 1981. Next week, they are not scheduled. It's the bye week, and then they're home for Dallas, play at Kansas City, and at Washington. Another pretty picture there.
Well, they've got the tough ones coming up, but they're in good shape. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen, some other backs here, Keith Sherman or someone, in there, take a little load off Herschel. No use wearing him out today with a 27-0 lead.
Cunningham off the run. And he picks up a first down, covered up by Mike Kroll.
Another example of Randall escaping the pressure. The outside's open. He's pointing the receiver downfield. Now he just turns it on and protects himself with a nice head first slide, picks up a couple yards. As I said, Randall's confidence, to me, today, just looking at him, having seen him so much, he looks more like the Randall Cunningham that I'm used to seeing than he did on the two films that we looked at.
It's a first down at the 23, ninth play of the drive. And it is Walker, bottled up by Jeff Mills. We visited yesterday at the Eagles practice with a one-time AFL quarterback, primarily with the New York Jets, Dick Wood. He's now, there he is, running backs coach for the Eagles. And we were discussing Wood last week. Had a conversation with Jay Schrader of the Raiders, who certainly has the arm strength, one of the stronger arms in the NFL. But you were saying Dick Wood can do some interesting things with the football in his day.
Well, Dick Wood had a very, very strong arm. He used to stand underneath the flagpole and throw the ball straight up and take bets that he could get it over the pole.
Most intriguing activity.
And this was back in the 50s, Marv, when he was a young guy coming out. He might not get it over that Vet Stadium flag there, but coming out of Auburn's where he played his college football, and he used to stand under those flagpoles and throw the ball straight up. But he told us yesterday the furthest he could ever throw the ball was 75 yards. Now, Schrader said he could throw it 87 at one time. And we had a guy at New England named Russ Francis, a tight end, who threw it 90. And they say Bo Jackson could throw it well over 80 yards.
Russ Francis threw 90 yards.
90 yards.
And there are some quarterbacks who can do that on their knees, not 90 yards, as Walker on the third down is stopped. But there are quarterbacks who have the strength to do it while on their knees.
What do you mean on their knees? What are you talking about there?
What other betting activity?
Oh, I see. You mean that one that just testing the arm strength?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see. I didn't know. I thought you're supposed to, if you're a quarterback, you're supposed to try and stand up, aren't you?
Thanks, Bill. Roger Ruzek will attempt a 35-yard field goal. It's a 4th down and 4 down at the 17. 2:35 remaining in this 4th quarter. Ruzek earlier hit from 50. He is 3 for 3 on the day. Eagles lead it 30-0.
Have you ever thought about wearing shoes?
Has been total domination by the Philadelphia Eagles. A very impressive performance. They lead the Denver Broncos by the score of 30-0. Roger Ruzek, who a moment ago converted his 3rd field goal of the day with the approach and the kickoff. And another good kick. Arthur Marshall will stay right there. 2:20 remaining in the 4th quarter. We'll be back in a moment. This has certainly been one of the most ineffective days in the standout career of John Elway. 8 for 18, 59 yards. You recall when he first broke into the NFL, he had some problems, but not able to get anything going today, and there are reasons for it. The unsettled offensive line, lack of a running game, and the Eagle defensive unit also had something to say about that. Sean Moore, first-year player out of Virginia, has taken over at quarterback. The give is to Greg Lewis, reaching out across the 25. Check that, Gaston Green, stopped by William Thomas. Sean Moore spent the first 11 weeks of last season on the practice squad and then was activated. An 11th round draft pick a year ago. 2 minutes remaining in the 4th. It has been a terrific day for Eagles quarterback Randall Cunningham. 18 of 25, 270 yards, 3 touchdowns. 1 to Fred Barnett, 2 to Calvin Williams. The Eagles with a 30-0 lead on the Broncos. 2nd down and 5. Sean Moore goes down inside the 10. Clyde Simmons with the sack. We're set for another update. Let's go to Bob Costas.
Marv, a good one at the Astrodome. Here's Warren Moon zipping this one 21 yards to Ernest Gibbons for the go-ahead touchdown. And the Oilers take a 20-13 edge over the Chiefs. And as we get to the post-game show following the Eagles and the Broncos, we'll try and have you look in on the end of the game at the Astrodome. Let's go back to the vet.
All right, Bob. Sean Moore, who just took over for John Elway, making his NFL debut, was taken down. 4th sack of the day by the Eagles. 2nd for Simmons, who had 3 last week, so that's 5 for the season for the Pro Bowl right defensive end. It'll be a 3rd down and 20 back at the 10 with 1:35 to go in this 4th quarter. Denver with only 4 first downs for the day.
This is the kind of consistency that Rich Kotite had been hoping for. I know all the Eagle players, almost to the man. Reggie White was saying the other day when we talked to him that the inconsistent. One time the offense would play well, one time the defense would play well. The special teams would let them down, and then vice versa. That situation.